I wanted to share a little bit about my Growth Mindset for All plan and the slideshow, and then share my top few resources that I found. I learned so much by working on this project, and growth mindset is something that can affect every person, no matter their role, in every area of their lives. And so in the slideshow, it can be run in a linear way from beginning to end. And I begin with Carol Dweck and Sal Khan from Khan Academy explaining what the growth mindset is, and point out that growth mindset can affect us in every area of our lives. It can affect the way, whether or not we choose to strive and succeed or flounder and fail. And I have a comparison of the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset, and how people approach obstacles and challenges and effort and criticism differently. And then comes the interactive piece, because I divided up the resources. There were just so many growth mindset resources that it was so hard to choose. There's so much for early learners and intermediate grade students and teenagers, and resources specifically for parents and teachers and leaders, that I decided to divide it up just a little bit. So someone taking a look at this growth mindset plan slideshow could go to a role or age group that they wanted to specifically see. So for example, in the early learners, I have a little bit of the Class Dojo growth mindset lesson, which I'll show a little bit more about in a minute. For the early learners, I also have a lot of videos. I have multiple videos and songs about the power of yet, because I do think that early learners connect a lot to music. And with many of those, I have a connection, a discussion or connection question. To get back to that wheel where you can choose the age group or role, I have a home button on every slide. So I have slides for intermediate grade learners, where we look at why is growth mindset important, take a look at the power of yet, the 4 steps from moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, and some additional resources. For teens, I have the same layout, have a Power of Yet video that's narrated by teenagers. This one was pretty powerful. And also there's a quiz so that they can find out their mindset, even though it should be emphasized repeatedly that your mindset is not static. It can change depending on your situation and what challenge you're being faced with, even the time of day. So really, it's just an awareness to have students and parents and teachers and leaders to think about their thinking and what their frame of mind is. I got this great graphic from the Learners Lab or Train Ugly, where they compare the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. This is an explainer video about how to move from fixed to growth. I have some resources for parents, where I have information about the power of yet, 3 ways to work with your student, to get to a growth mindset, to work with your personal children rather, and also additional resources. And the teacher resources switch just a little bit. There's a video from Carol Dweck explaining about the growth mindset and how it's important for teachers. And then there's a comparison. It's modified from that graphic from Nigel Holmes about different situations and how they're affected by mindset, but it's just kind of an abbreviated version with a connection question. I also have a link to the Education Week article where Carol Dweck discusses false growth mindset and some misconceptions that were that came along with it. Some people were thinking that mindset was only about effort, which is not the case. And then here's resources for praising the process. And then, oh, I have a lot of resources. As I mentioned before, there's too many great resources to choose from. So I have a list of some books here specifically for teachers, and I'll highlight a couple in just a minute, along with the best websites. And then I have some resources for leaders, because if growth mindset is important for student success, then that has to start from the top. School leaders have to emphasize and give teachers room to work with that with their students. And so that first comes from a knowledge of knowing that it's important and that there are resources for leaders. Now, what I found in these abundance of resources was that a lot of things geared towards school leaders are about purchasing a product and buying a product. But I did find one fantastic resource that I will show you in my list of top resources. So as I said, this wheel can be used interactively, or users can go slide by slide. And if you go slide by slide, there's some quotes and things in there too. So I wanted to highlight just a couple of my favorite resources that I found while working on this project. Something that I really like is I made a playlist of YouTube videos, and I will link to that in the post in the plan. And so they're all different points of view. Some are appropriate for students, some are appropriate for teachers. There is, I found, also a lot of growth mindset material focused on doing well in business and ways to make money. So as always, teachers need to be choosy about what resources they're going to use with students. Something else that I cultivated on Scribed was a growth mindset book list of audio books and books. And the most valuable resources that I found for teachers were these books by Annie Brock, this Growth Mindset Playbook, A Teacher's Guide to Promoting Student Success is fantastic. And this Growth Mindset Classroom Ready Resource Book, this has lesson plans in it specifically for growth mindset. It's fantastic. And this one, the Growth Mindset Coach, a teacher's month-by-month handbook for empowering students to achieve, is great and fits right in with the idea of a growth mindset plan, because this is a month-to-month handbook. So there are lesson plans that go month to month. Each month of the book has a theme related to growth mindset. And there are some others here. I did want to also point out, there's one author here, Ricci, I think is her name. She has books specifically for parents and resources for the classroom. My other favorite resource is called Big Life Journal, and this is a wonderful resource for students and for parents and teachers, because although they are in the business of selling journals and posters and resources, you can subscribe to their website and get a weekly free download. And these downloads are focused on growth mindset, and they are phenomenal. Some are appropriate for early learners, some are specific to families, and some are focused sometime on the time of year. For example, we just had Thanksgiving, so the recent download was about gratitude, and the one for December is purposeful acts of kindness. But these are good good resources for teachers and parents. My next favorite resource, get this tab out of the way, is that Nearpod has some available even in the free version of Nearpod, some growth and fixed mindset lessons already prepared for teachers. So I always encourage teachers to be choosy about the resource that they're using, but these are valuable and definitely worth checking out. Another resource that I was so excited to find was this Class Dojo Growth Mindset set of lessons. And it's just a few, but it's short videos and it has activities for teachers with discussion guides. This Mindset Kit site was an exciting find for me because they have free courses, not only for teachers, and they're brief courses. Like this about growth mindset is 3 lessons for teachers. This is free and this is valid, valuable information, but they also have a course for parents, growth mindset for parents. It's free, it's 10 lessons, so there's videos and things to read, a couple of interactives there. But what got me the most was this one for mentors, because I mentioned earlier that leaders, too many resources geared toward leaders who are about purchasing a product. This one is completely free. It's got 17 lessons, and it starts with the leader or teacher thinking about their abilities first. There's no way to teach a growth mindset without understanding your growth mindset and how you approach difficulties. So this mindset kit is an excellent find. My other favorite resource was shared to me by a classmate, and this is the Learner Lab. And this video I featured in the teen resource, this How to Build a Growth Mindset, but they have some comparisons about fixed and growth mindsets and some wonderful blog posts and some free posters. So these are my favorite resources, and I certainly developed a growth mindset during this project, and I hope that you enjoy exploring some of these resources.